Boots on stone, we lost the way. Who's the driver? Not today. Map is flipped in disarray. Level free, but tend to slay. Bought a sword with evil glow. Cleric healed, then burst, we know. Wizard spells all gone by noon. Rogues already looting soon.
Welcome back to Dice&Duarte's. Last time, we broke down how to be a cleric. Today, we're making a deal. Let's go over what is a warlock exactly. Think of warlocks like this. You don't study magic like a wizard. You don't inherit it like a sorcerer. You just make a pact with something really, really powerful. In exchange, you get power. But remember, there's always a catch. Let's go over a quick reminder of your core mechanics when it comes to being a warlock. 1, you have pact magic, which means you have fewer spell slots, but they recharge on short rests. Remember that. 2, Eldritch Blast. It's your main attack. This is your bread and butter, so you're going to be using it very often. And your invocations, which means that you get custom upgrades. This is what makes warlocks unique. So remember, warlocks don't cast more spells, they just cast smarter spells. Okay, what exactly are warlock patrons? So think of a warlock patron like this. It's a powerful being that gives you magic. Plain and simple. But it's not for free. So instead of studying magic like a wizard or chosen by a god like a cleric, a warlock has to make a deal. Okay? So going over it, your patron equals your source of power. You get all of their abilities, spells, and features. In return, you owe them something. So that something can be service, loyalty, a mission of some sort, or even just being their agent in the world. You have your fiend, you have your hexblade, you have your celestial. Those are like the beginner ones that you want to use. Then you have other patrons such as Archfey, Great Old One, Genie, Fathomless, Undead, and Undying. It really depends on what you want to do and what direction you want to take your character. Let's talk about a few of the patrons a little bit more in detail. First, you have the Fiend, which deals with devils and demons. Your color theme would be red and orange. The vibe would be power at any cost, or power at a cost. You're basically doing a deal with the devil or devils, and you inherit their raw destructive power. Then you have your Great Old One, which is kind of like a cosmic horror. Kind of think about H.P. Lovecraft type of deal, aliens, whatnot. So your color theme would be purple and black. The vibe would be insanity, whispers, and the unknown. So basically it's something beyond reality that's giving you power. Then you have your Archfey, which is Fey magic. We all know about Fey magic, especially if you're jumping into the realms of D&D, you're going to hear about it a lot. Your color themes are green and gold. Your vibe is like trickster, illusions, and charms. Think of it that way. Your patron is pretty playful, but they're still dangerous. Then you have your Hexblade, which is kind of a shadow weapon. Your color themes are black, silver, and purple. Your vibe is, think of it as a cursed weapon with melee power. So your magic lives in your weapon itself. You have your Fathomless, which is ocean power. So basically the sea, the ocean, etc. Your color theme is blue and teal. Your vibe is deep sea, control, and pressure. So basically it's the ocean itself, and all the monsters that are inside that answers to your call. And you have your Celestial, which is your Radiant Patron. Kind of think of that as like a cleric on steroids, I guess. I don't know. But your color theme is gold and white. Your vibe is light, healing, and divine power. So, not all warlocks have to be dark. They can be a little light too. Then there's also some more smaller patrons that you can pick. Basically like the genie, for instance. That's your elemental power. Your color themes are gold and elemental blue, red, green, white, etc. Your vibe is like a controlled power within yourself, and it's versatile. So you basically pick an element, fire, air, earth, or water, and you get a bonus damage tied to your element. And you also have a magical vessel of your choice. So basically like your genie in the lamp mechanic. So in a nutshell, your power comes from a genie, and each element changes how you fight, depending on what you want to do. Then you have your undead, which is fear and survival, basically. Its color themes are green and black. Its vibes are intimidation, death, and negative energy. What it is, in a simple form, is you basically transform into a terrifying something. Skeleton or some kind of undead being. You get to frighten enemies, and you resist any death effects. So you don't just use death, you become something terrifying as well. Then you have your undying, which is hard to kill. It's kind of a niche thing. So basically the color theme is pale green and gray. The vibe is quiet immortality and subtle power. What it is, simply in a nutshell, is that you're harder to die, much harder to die. You resist disease and aging, and you're more defensive than flashy. So it's not kind of like a hurrah flashy power. It's a kind that just refuses to die. Right, now we're going to go over Warlock Boons. Warlock Boons, you say. What is that? Okay, basically a Warlock Boon is your reward from your patron, basically. And it starts at level 3. Remember, you can't get it before then. It starts at level 3. Okay, think of it like your patron doesn't just give you power, they give you a gift that defines how you fight. So, in simple terms, patron equals where your power comes from. Remember, we talked about that. And the boon is how you use that power. You have a few. So we're going to go over the main Warlock boons. So you get Pact of the Blade, which is a weapon Warlock. Its playstyle is melee, combat focused, okay? You get to summon a magical weapon. It fights up close, and it works great with Hexblade. So you don't just cast spells, you are the weapon. Then you have Pact of the Tome, Spellcaster Warlock. Basically, it gets the playstyle is utility and magic versatility, okay? You get extra cantrips, which always come in handy. You get more spell options, which also come in handy. And you feel closer to being like kind of like a mini wizard of some sort. So your patron gives you forbidden knowledge. Think of it that way. Then you have your Pact of the Chain, which is your familiar master. Your playstyle is control, support, and scouting. It gives you a powerful familiar, so like an imp, a pseudo dragon, something like that. Spider, I don't know, whatever you're into. It helps with scouting, and it helps to distract enemies, so it comes in handy. And it's a big utility outside of combat. You can have it do stuff while you're resting or in a town or something like that. So you're never really alone because your patron sends you something to watch and fight with you or watch over you. And you have the Pact of the Talisman, which is your support and protection. Your playstyle is support and buffs. So basically you get a magical charm you or your allies can use. It boosts ability checks and gives you some defensive utility. So it's your power that just isn't yours, you can share it. So that's just a few. So your patron gives you power, but your boon decides what kind of warlock you can become. Let's go over a few quick pros and cons about being a warlock. Say you decide you want to be a warlock, this is what you want to do. So these are things to look for. Pros. You have a very, very, very strong damage output. Basically, you're a badass. And you can pretty much recover everything on a short rest. Also, you're highly, highly customizable. So you can do many things with this character. You can do many things. You can expand, pretty much make it as unique as you want. The cons. You have a very limited spell slots. Very limited. You're not a wizard. Okay, remember that. And you have to rely on smart choices because everything that you do has a consequence to it. And if you don't build it right, it can feel very repetitive. So it'll get boring really, really, really quick. All right, so just remember. So, recap. Remember, warlocks are power, but they come with consequence, okay? And sometimes the price hasn't been paid fully yet. You can work that into any part of your storytelling that you like. Next time on Dice and Duarte's. This time, there's no magic, no deals, just steel and discipline. And of course, a little bit of skill. Welcome to the fighter.